I really wish I had words for what I went through since 2013. I was surviving abuse at home and still am. I'm still recovering from the injuries, and the kind of people I met were harsh, critical, sometimes even vicious and violent. When I came here, I had a Ford Explorer. I packed my Explorer for almost 3 days from July 1st to July 4th, 2013. I had endured around the clock abuse by my ex-husband. I mean, when I say abuse, it was physical abuse, verbal, mental torture. So I finally got the items all in the truck that I needed. I locked up the storage. I had basically been sitting in the driveway, basically keeping the truck, just doing the extra things I needed to do to drive halfway across the United States. I got the puppy in, and to say goodbye to him was the best thing that ever happened to me at that moment. I pulled out of the driveway and I headed from where I was living in Branson, Missouri, into Springfield, Missouri. And I kept driving. It was 4th of July. I have had hardship here since I've been to Pennsylvania. I prayed at the state line thinking, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what kind of scams. I don't know who I'm going to be dealing with. I dealt with every little thing you could possibly deal with. So when I talk about fraud and scam, I'm going to tell you about some of the little things and big things that happened to me in the course of this. I dealt with this school where the director, had told me that she had given me $1,000 tablet. I reported it to the state attorney general's office because the last time that something like this happened, I didn't report it. And I had to, because I couldn't go through being a victim of fraud. And now their investigation is complete. I don't really know how it's going to conclude. But I endured physical torture walking on the highway. I could think of a variety of things that went wrong here. And the most important thing about coming back was, though, because U-Haul had made a mistake in the computer, and my furniture had been in storage for almost 4 years, leaving abuse the first time in 2010. So they told me, go ahead, get your belongings, you don't have to pay the bill. It would have been a $4,000 bill at that point. So I had the help of some people at church. Detail Church was one of the churches in Cranberry Township that was helping me because I had been staying at the women's shelter when I arrived back to Pennsylvania. I basically did everything I could to get an apartment, to get on my feet, to do what I needed to do to survive. I'm angry at the kind of invasion of privacy and things that have gone on in my bathroom. Every violation, every little thing that goes wrong in the privacy of my home, I do not appreciate somebody who I cannot trust in my own home. I have to be able to trust those people in my home, or there's going to be consequences for that too. I couldn't even believe what I went through. I couldn't even believe it. It's unacceptable. So again, anytime there is concerns or things like that, go through the proper procedure and make that phone call to the bank, or whoever it is you need to make a phone call to. Because I got to the point where I had to call the bank, because when I first, again, arrived back here to Pennsylvania, because I had left Pennsylvania in 2015 after going through a divorce. I had moved to North Carolina, and I thought I was doing the right thing because everything was working out. Everything was running pretty smoothly. Like, the divorce was in the process, but this has been far worse, because after the divorce and after all the things that I was going through with, trying to leave and get on my feet again, my nephew was in a car accident, and that just totally made things crazy. And in that process, I was trying to get through surgery, and I was in surgery during the whole time. And nowadays, fraud and scams keep coming all kinds of shapes, sizes, ages, ranges, and sexual abuse is one of the worst. Okay, it's just, there isn't any getting around the facts. There are a couple things that I think that I've encountered that female offenders are some of the worst. There are male offenders they're equally the worst. Male and female offenders. And it's female offenders that keep returning back to the victims. You could tell. You could tell by certain things. So, see, when the offenders come back to the victim, it's like they return back. You can tell it's a repeat cycle. It's a repetitive. They repeatedly do the same thing. Same type of abuse. Same type of everything. And after a while, you start to wonder, like, what's going to happen? Like, are we going to go to court? Are we going to, talk to a judge? Are we going to be able to get somewhere with this? Repeat offenders, what they do with the cigarettes, what they did with the all kinds of other things. Like, I cannot tell you what a repeat offense is. It's a constant same thing. It's the same, routinely, same type of problem, same thing, and it gets worse, not better. So we need to know when we're going to talk to the judge. We need to know, like, if we're going to go. See, up here in Butler, there's no night court, okay? Downtown Pittsburgh, there is, okay? So when we contacted the police about, the stealing incidents and the little incidents after incidents that went on while we were sleeping, or went on while we were going to the bathroom, like, you can't turn your head for a second, as my dad once told me. And those are the type of individuals that think that what they're doing is justifiable. It's like they're seeking their own kind of justice. And it's never, ever good to put justice in your own hands. The one thing, though, you have to defend and protect your home. This is constitutional rights. These are constitutional things that we're discussing from here. I have the right to defend myself. I have the right to defend my home. I have the right to defend myself. I have the right to sit in my own home, in my own car. I have just cause. See, to me, what that girl is doing, whoever she is, whoever these individuals are, like, they're not allowed to do what they're doing, okay? I don't know what they're doing in the middle of the night, where they're at. I have no clue who they are. I can tell you, I get a sick feeling in my stomach, and it's from the pit of my stomach. And I do not like it, and I've been discussing it with Voice. I've been discussing it with others, again, when it comes to domestic violence. Taking somebody's car keys, using their car keys, trapping them in their house. That's what Tom Gillen did. That's what Mike Sal did. This is the kind of stuff we're talking about. You cannot trap somebody in their home. Can't trap them in front of the door. It's just not going to happen. But it did. Here's the thing. It already happened. Domestic violence is no joke. It is dangerous and it is downright scary. So when we talk about frauds and scams, we're talking about, like, do not give your keys out to anybody. Do not give out your house keys, your car keys, anything. Keep your keys in your purse. Keep a mace with you. There are things you can do. You might not be able to carry a gun. That's because of the government. That's the kind of, tyranny we've been talking about. But domestic violence is absolutely a crime. And abusing somebody is a crime. It is a crime, and it needs to be punished under U.S. law. In the United States of America, there are some certain freedoms we've been given, and we've been given them freely. Okay? So when somebody's in and out of somebody's apartment or doing something, the thing is, they don't think they're doing anything wrong. By going through your things, by going through the drawers, there is no one is allowed to go through anybody's personal belongings, personal things, whether it be at a shelter or whether it be in your own home. I'm just saying. The conversation ends when somebody goes into your things and goes into the bathroom and is, trying to take the keys or trying to take the car, or withholding your belongings. It is the problem. And we're right now in the process of the attorneys, and we're dealing with the back keys. We're dealing with a couple different things. A couple things that, when a girl is home alone or somebody's home alone, you want to make sure that those keys, when you lock that door, you deadbolt it. You make sure the deadbolts are in there. You make sure everything's, situated. I'm not playing games anymore. Whatever he's been doing, whatever they're doing it when we're sleeping. They're doing it. There are individuals that have been doing things while our back is turned the whole time. So I'm going to leave it there.